19 years sober. My journey from addiction to recovery. My name is Philip, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. Today, I celebrate 19 years of sobriety, a milestone I never imagined reaching when I was caught in the grip of addiction. I want to share my story, not just for myself, but for anyone who might be struggling and needs to know there's a way out. I started drinking at 13. Back then, alcohol felt like a lifeline. With low self-esteem and other challenges, it offered an escape, a way to feel confident and free. For a while, it seemed like a friend. I managed to function well enough to get through high school, college, and even graduate school with a master's in counseling. During those years, I kept my drinking to weekends, convincing myself I had it under control. But life has a way of testing us. After graduating, I started working at a foster family agency. Around the same time, my wife and I welcomed our first child. One of my first cases was an infant with spiral fractures in both femurs, his tiny body in a cast from waist to ankles, with just a small opening for diaper changes. We had to arrange a specialized car seat so he could travel safely. That case hit me hard. I went home wanting to process it with my wife, but she was understandably overwhelmed, having just given birth. Without an outlet, I turned to a couple of beers that night. That was the beginning of using alcohol to cope. Over the next few years, my drinking escalated. I went from weekend binges to daily drinking. To maintain my denial, I set rules for myself. No drinking before the afternoon, no hiding alcohol or lying about it, and absolutely no drinking and driving. I broke the first two rules regularly, rationalizing that a bad day justified an early drink, or that hiding my drinking spared my wife from arguments. I created excuses to keep the illusion that I wasn't an alcoholic. Everything changed on July 18, 2006. I had just quit my job at the foster agency, feeling they were unfair to me. In reality, I was unraveled. That day, I drove to multiple liquor stores, buying 3 or 4 airplane-sized bottles of vodka and a bottle of orange juice at each one. I went to different stores because I didn't want the clerks to judge me. At a stop sign, I caught my reflection in the rearview mirror. The shame in my eyes was undeniable. In that moment of clarity, I saw the crossroads. Continue drinking and risk losing my freedom, my family, everything, or stop. When I got home, I told my wife I thought I had a problem with alcohol. To my surprise, she already knew. That night, I called a friend from grad school who worked at a rehab center. I didn't know she was in recovery herself. She shared her own struggles with alcohol and how recovery had transformed her life. After an hour-long conversation, I committed to showing up at the rehab facility the next day. On July 19, 2006, I walked through those doors, and by the grace of God, I haven't had a drink since. I followed every suggestion they gave me: detox, partial hospitalization, intensive outpatient program. I lived in a sober living house for 51 days during treatment. For the first 18 months, I attended meetings twice a day, got a sponsor, and worked the steps. I went into recovery for myself, not for my family, but I've seen how my sobriety has blessed them, just as my drinking once hurt them. Today, I'm grateful to be in recovery. Not every day is perfect, but most days, I can face life on life's terms. I can look in the mirror without the shame that once consumed me. To anyone struggling with addiction, know this: if you have the desire to stop, you can recover. There is a way out. My name is Philip, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. Thank you for letting me share.